Don't board that boat. It's been sabotaged. The shout tore through the festival air like a gunshot. Music halted. Laughter died mid-breath. A homeless teen stood trembling on the dock, his voice echoing over the glimmering waters of Newport Harbor. Dozens of startled faces turned his way, but one man froze completely, James Sinclair, the billionaire whose name graced half the city's skyline. He stared at the boy, confusion written across his sharp, polished features. "What did you just say?" The boy swallowed hard. "Please, sir, don't get on that yacht. Someone's trying to kill you." And in that single moment, two worlds collided. One of privilege. One of pain. And neither of them would ever be the same again. The morning sun bathed Newport Harbor in golden light. The scent of saltwater and roasted coffee drifted through the marina. But for Ryan Peterson, 17 and homeless, the warmth couldn't chase away the chill clawing at his chest. He barely slept. The images from last night replayed like a broken film reel, a hooded figure crouching near the docks, tools glinting under the moonlight, muffled voices arguing, and the metallic click of sabotage. He had hidden behind lobster traps, heart hammering so hard he thought it might give him away. Now, as he walked past the polished boats and laughing festival workers, the sight of that yacht, the sleek white Polaris, James Sinclair's pride and joy, made his stomach twist. He wanted to tell someone. Anyone. But who would believe a homeless teen with dirt under his fingernails and fear in his eyes? Finally, he approached Grace Hammond, Sinclair's trusted assistant. She had always treated him with a rare kindness when others looked away. "Miss Hammond," he said softly. "I need to tell you something. About Mr. Sinclair's yacht." Her expression turned serious. "What about it?" "Someone was there last night. Messing with it. It looked wrong." Grace's calm face hardened. She promised to look into it, but Ryan could see doubt flicker in her eyes. He couldn't blame her. He barely believed it himself. That night, as the marina lights shimmered across the water, Ryan's old phone buzzed with an unknown number. He answered, and froze. "You should have kept your mouth shut, kid." Then, silence. The world went still. The sound of the sea faded away, replaced by a single, deafening truth. Someone knew. Someone was watching. Ryan gripped the phone until his knuckles turned white. Fear clawed at him, but beneath it, something stronger stirred. He had been ignored his whole life. Not this time. He was going to stop whoever planned this, even if no one believed him. Morning came with the buzz of festival preparations. The harbor shimmered with banners, laughter, and the smell of fried seafood. But underneath the cheer, Ryan's dread thickened. He watched as James Sinclair himself arrived, immaculate suit, practiced smile, shaking hands with city officials. To everyone else, he was a man who had everything. To Ryan, he was a man walking into danger. Grace spotted Ryan hovering near the docks. "We checked the yacht," she said briskly. "Nothing looked out of place. Security will handle the rest." Ryan wanted to scream. He'd seen the tampering. He'd heard the tools. He opened his mouth to protest, then caught sight of a camera mounted near the fuel dock. The security footage. It might hold the proof. That night, he slipped into the marina's security shed. The hum of monitors filled the room. He scrubbed through footage from the previous night, frame by frame, until he saw it. A hooded figure. A gloved hand loosening the yacht's fuel line. A spark. And then darkness. Ryan's pulse roared in his ears. He yanked out a USB drive and copied the footage. Just as he was about to leave, footsteps approached. "Ryan?" He nearly dropped the drive. It was Alan, the weathered dockworker who'd always looked out for him. "What are you doing in here?" "I found something," Ryan panted. "Proof. Someone's trying to blow up Sinclair's yacht." Alan blinked, then nodded slowly. Let's show Grace. Grace watched the footage in silence, her eyes narrowing as the shadowy figure tampered with the yacht's systems. This changes everything, she whispered. You did the right thing, Ryan. But you're in danger now. The boy nodded. He already knew. When James Sinclair saw the footage, something inside him shifted. For the first time in years, the billionaire known for his composure looked shaken. A homeless teen saved my life, he murmured. He ordered extra security, but insisted on inspecting the yacht himself, with Ryan and Grace at his side. The festival was in full swing, music, fireworks, families, laughter. But beneath the celebration, a deadly plan was unraveling. As James stepped aboard the Polaris, Ryan's heart pounded. Something was wrong. A faint hiss, gas. He could smell it. Everyone off the boat. Ryan shouted. Now. Grace grabbed James's arm, dragging him back just as Ryan dove for the emergency shutoff valve. The hiss grew louder, then boom. A blast of flame tore through the air. The crowd screamed. Smoke billowed into the night. When it cleared, Ryan lay sprawled on the dock, coughing but alive. The yacht burned behind him, but the explosion had been contained. James knelt beside him, his face pale. You saved us. Ryan managed a weak smile. Told you not to board the boat. It was the first time anyone had looked at Ryan not as a street kid, but as a hero. Days later, the investigation revealed everything. The saboteur wasn't a stranger, it was Alan, the marina worker Ryan trusted. He'd been paid off by one of Sinclair's business rivals to destroy the yacht, and make it look like a tragic accident. When confronted, Alan confessed tearfully. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just needed the money. Sinclair was furious, but more than that, he was humbled. He realized how close greed and desperation could stand to one another. How a man with everything could nearly die, and a boy with nothing could be the one to save him. At a press conference days later, James Sinclair stunned the city. He announced a new harbor outreach program, a foundation to help homeless youth find education, housing, and jobs. Standing beside him on stage, dressed in clean clothes and trembling under the spotlight, was Ryan Peterson. This young man reminded me, James said, his voice breaking, that courage doesn't come from wealth or power. It comes from heart. The crowd erupted in applause. Cameras flashed. But for Ryan, the moment was personal. He looked out at the sea, the same sea that had once made him feel invisible, and whispered. Guess I finally belong somewhere. Months later, a black car pulled up beside the same dock where it all began. James Sinclair stepped out, holding an envelope. Inside, a college scholarship, and a job offer at his company's marine engineering division. Ryan looked up in disbelief. Why me? Sinclair smiled. Because you saw what others didn't, and you had the courage to speak when everyone else stayed silent. As the car drove away, Ryan turned toward the water, sunlight glinting on the horizon. The boy who once had nothing, had saved everything. And somewhere between the waves and the wind, the city of Newport learned a lesson it would never forget. Heroes aren't born in mansions. Sometimes, they rise from the streets.